Ever have a feeling that something wasn't quite right? That was me back in the fall of 2019. I would look at a series of numbers, and in the middle of the string of numbers, there would be a couple that seemed to shape shift. By March of 2020, while driving and stopping at a stop sign, I looked up and noticed that the T and the O was starting to disappear. I knew at that point something wasn't right. And so I sought out to get an appointment with an eye doctor, a local eye doctor. When I went in and he looked at my eyes and he said, you have a macular degeneration. So what we want you to do is we want you to go home and take this Amsler chart, and if the number of squares in the Amsler chart, say that 5 times in a row, the Amsler chart increases in terms of the distortion of what you see, we want you to come back in. And I was like, okay. Well, this was no fun at all. Well, first of all, because it was right when the lockdown started. So I went home, I was working from home, and, it was bothering me, but I worked around it. I just had to double check, and it was only happening in my right eye. So a few months went by, I'm looking at this chart, and as the weeks went by, the area was getting larger. So I set up a new appointment with the DO, went in, and this is what he said. You have a macular hole and need to have surgery right away, or you are going to lose sight in your eye. And I'm like, what? And he starts talking about this thing called a vitrectomy. And that, they take out the liquid, they put a ball in your eye, they fill it with nitrous oxide, they send you home, and you have to lay face down to 5 to 8 days, 23 hours out of each day. Wow. Needless to say, I said, I'm going to go home, and I'll get back to you about the date. I go home, I call in a favor, and eventually get in to see a different retinologist. Went in, sat down with him. He said, yes, you have a macular hole. You need to have surgery. But I'm confident I can do this, and you will be face down for only 3 days, 23 hours out of the day. And I said, yes, yes, yes. And so I went in that August and had surgery the first week in August. This is an account of that day and the days that follow. Please enjoy.